That's true for every religious text. You should read the book for yourself instead of having it kind of described to you, because that's an interpretation and everybody interprets everything differently. You need to have your own interpretation, have that one-on-one directly with God that you believe in, right? And that kind of led to one part. The second part of the responsibility that comes with it. I needed to be really, really sure of what I'm talking about, understand it completely, and be highly respectful. Yes, it is inspired by certain true life characters, but for me, the landmark judgment that it's based on was the benchstone against which we kind of marked our entire, narrative around, and then wove the story of Shazia Bano, of Abbas Khan, of Saira together, and the drama that takes place, where it's basically a domestic dispute, which became, from a domestic dispute to something that affected the community, to something of national importance.
Vartika, to you, this is your debut movie. And when I say debut, there's a lot of apprehensions, pressure. But when you were approached for this role, I really want to understand the entire algorithm which went behind this. And when you were kind of, trying for this movie, you're probably approached for this one. And especially working with a director like him who has been known for his work and the work which speaks volumes, and people recall the kind of projects he's worked on. Tell us about your experience.
I think to start with, I would say, first of all, it's such an iconic film to be part of, and I really consider myself lucky that I have the opportunity to live Saira. Thank you. I remember, my day one with him, and I was really invested in Saira. I was like, I have to live her, and thank you for giving me Saira, because I genuinely feel that this is very unconventional. This is not something that a lot of people get to start with, and to be honest, I really feel that I'm lucky, because not necessarily in your first film you get to act. Yes, you do get to be on screen and do a lot of fun stuff, but this definitely was a very challenging role to begin with, and to start with something like that is definitely something that I consider is a very good thing that has happened to me. So it's a really, really good and big break that I could actually get.
Topic which you have touched upon, which is about fighting for the rights of Muslim women, and while I say so, it's very delicate. At the same time, where did this idea come from, when it came to focusing on this subject for you?
So I keep researching various subjects which kind of excite me, which kind of are much bigger or larger than life, which are of national in nature. And, Vishal and Juhi kind of talked to me about this subject, and initially I kind of held back because I needed to be very clear of the kind of film I wish to make, which has to be very, very balanced. I had a certain idea that I want it to be very progressive in nature. I didn't want to hold back. I wanted to have conversations that kind of, literally liberal-minded people would kind of love to engage in, things that we don't talk about, but do need to talk about. And honestly, I think one of the things that helped me was, after having made Sirf Ek Banda Kafi Hai, the fears I had then, before I made that film, went away with the success of that film's release. And I realized that I need to be even more fearless in my storytelling, because I am coming from a place of honesty. I do not have, any baggage. I don't have any sense of, trying to prove a point of anything or say something of particular nature for the sake of controversy. I really wish to kind of talk about a story of a woman who exemplified dignity, who fought for self-respect, and then to try and create a story of two individuals, one coming from a place of absolute belief in what he was doing, because Abbas's world is where he's normalized in. This is 1970s we are talking about. It's a very normal scenario. It's not something that we live in today, 25, where men are exposed to the fact that this is right, this is wrong, or being in a woke world. This is not a woke world we live in, right? And a woman at that time rising and speaking for herself, going against not just her husband, her community, and both coming from a place of family. They had children together, they had a family together, and she accepted quite a bit till the time it came to her self-respect. And he's coming from a place of hurt and ego, which was normalized then. So he's not coming from a place of wrong. And there is ambition at the same time. So it was a very interesting world to create and play with these characters. And in that mix to put a character of a second woman, the second wife, who is completely right from her perspective, because she's married for love as well. And she has her reasons. And for her to find empathy as well as a woman was an interesting journey to create for these core characters as such. So yeah, I mean, does that answer your question?